Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level. For the $20 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience.
They're an experience.
All around you. And welcome back to another great episode of the Filmistines.
The fastest growing podcast in
The world.
the world.
We're still growing.
Huh?
We're the growing podcast in the world.
It's true. If you start this low, you'll always grow.
That's true.
All right.
You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes covering all movies from all walks of life, including John Wick 4, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Beau is Afraid,
Evil Dead Rise,
Jaws.
and several others. Lots of episodes waiting for you if you haven't listened to them, and lots of episodes cooking, including this one. But first and foremost, I'm joined by, as always, by my transforming friend,
Okay.
Lucy. How are you doing, Lucy? Did you have fun watching this movie?
Yeah, I had fun watching this movie.
Ask me if I had fun watching this movie.
Did you have fun watching this movie?
No.
You didn't?
No, this movie sucks.
You didn't have any fun at all.
No, this movie is probably the worst movie I've seen all year.
Are you kidding me?
And the movie we're talking about is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Is that right?
Yes.
See, I don't even know the title of the name.
All right. This is going to be interesting.
This is probably the most boring movie of the year.
Heck
This was more
no.
boring than
Blade Runner?
Blade Runner. This was
Heck
more
no.
boring than Peter Pan.
Heck no. Don't insult this movie like that.
This movie sucks.
This movie did not suck. You need to take a walk.
Yeah, chill out.
You need to chill out. You know, it wasn't the best movie, okay?
No, definitely not.
It wasn't the best Transformers movie either. But, you know, it got the job done. It made me, you know, ooh and ah where I was supposed to. It made me ask, oh my gosh, what are they going to do now when it was supposed to? I guess the ending was a bit like, what?
The ending was the coolest part.
Yeah, it was the coolest part, but it was also like this movie didn't correlate to what the ending was.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't. Is there a history of? We're just gonna go ahead and say it. Spoilers, early spoilers.
Yeah.
We spoil shit real quick though. So if you haven't caught on to that, you know,
Are you even
go
listening?
find a different podcast. But is there history with Transformers and G.I. Joe? I have no fucking idea.
I don't either.
I don't have any history. That's a little old for us, Transformers and G.I. Joe. We were more of that Power Rangers, maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of era. Mostly Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Although I didn't get into any of that shit either. The first thing I was into was Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, you know. But that's fucking bizarre, the Transformers G.I. Joe thing.
I mean, all I know is that they're both toys.
Mm-hmm. They're classic toys.
Yeah, both classic toys.
Yeah.
You know G.I. Joe. You know Transformers. I guess they're both made by Hasbro. Yeah. But I mean, I'm there with you. Was there ever a collab here on the show? Because this is based off of a cartoon, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the comics or cartoon first for Transformers.
Okay, but
I think G.I. Joe is toys first and then show.
okay,
But Transformers, I'm not really sure.
okay.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, is comic first, then toys, then cartoon. I didn't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know
And
that.
the Power Rangers is a ripoff of a Japanese Power Ranger-esque show, like complete ripoff.
Oh shit!
It was basically stolen. Like, it was basically legally stolen. It's total American plagiarism. It's crazy. There's a crazy history behind Power Rangers.
And we got away with that?
Well, it was legal, but it was just so, like, why wasn't this more original in any way whatsoever? Like, it was I don't know too much about it, but it was not. They didn't just dub it. You know how we'll dub anime and stuff or whatever Japanese, whatever non-English, whatever content, we'll just dub it, right? Yeah. Translate it, and some depending on the time period, especially, it could vary in quality, right?
Okay.
That's not what happened here. It was just like it was licensed, and then they repurposed the show to tell a different story.
I didn't know any of this.
Power Rangers got some interesting history, and I think at some point the Power Rangers here kind of displaced the Japanese Power Rangers, and I think they started to take their separate ways. And I think the Japanese Power Rangers just stopped, and I think the American Power Rangers just continued through, Disney or Nickelodeon or whatever it was. So, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of weird because I think the original Power Rangers, the Japanese Power Rangers, I don't know the name of it, but it had already been going on for 4 or 5 years or something like that, and so there was a lot to pull from for that American weird creation. But anyways, yeah, I know G.I. Joes, were the toy for a generation, right? And then Transformers shortly after that, and they're highly collected. I didn't know there's gotta be another crossover, if this is the first one. I do think that's mega cool.
Yes.
I wish it was a better movie. I wish the Transformers was a better movie, and I wish G.I. Joe movies were better. I think there's 2 of those, and they're dog shit.
Oh my gosh.
But I did see that they've announced 2 sequels to just Transformers, the Transformers we just watched.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also announced the spinoff, the G.I. Joe Transformers spinoff. So there's 3 more things coming out of this universe.
Okay.
So, or in the works with the strike, those are gonna be quick, cuts. This kind of movie. This is the kind of movie that's quick to be cut over things like, who made this? Was Universal, I think.
Well, I guess it says distributed by Paramount Pictures.
No, yeah, Paramount. Paramount's the one we're looking for.
Okay, Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount, Universal. Universal's owned by Comcast. That's that one. And then we have Disney, and then Viacom. I don't fucking know. All these stupid ass studios merging and shit and selling each other off and stuff. It's insane. So yeah, that was weird. And I had heard about this ending before we watched it. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I heard through some shit I was watching on YouTube or whatever, podcast or something, that the ending has a weird, whatever you want to call that, G.I. Joe Transformers crossover shit. It's just like, that's okay. That's like I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's kind of like the Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossover. You're just like, what the fuck,
Yeah, or when you have, I think, Hannah Montana and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody crossover, you're like, what? Okay, all right.
But it's even weirder than those, because Transformers is like, it sounds like the universe is really at the hands of the Autobots. So what are G.I. Joes, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that ending was for sure a bit, I mean, it was off. Cool news, cool what you're trying to do here, but it was just off after we just watched, what was this, like a 2-hour movie before we found that out?
Yeah.
And I mean, also the ending with Mirage, I was kind of confused on, did he die? Did he merge? Like, what happened here that now he's a suit? Like, I don't know. That was a bit confusing to me. Maybe I needed to watch G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I don't know. G.I. Joe does have, like, outfits like that.
Okay.
So maybe there's something, if you were a mega G.I. Joe fan and you saw that, you'd be like, that's weird. That's a very G.I. Joe outfit. And then, they really hit it home with you at the end. So maybe there's something to that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about G.I. Joe other than in the movie. I think it was the first movie, the first live action movie, I guess, in the last like 15, 20 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was one really cool thing in there. I think it was called the Rod of God or something like that. And it was this device that they took into space, and it was just a big ass rod. Like, imagine a big ass piece of rebar.
Okay.
That was like, maybe a quarter of a mile in diameter, maybe 4 miles tall, and they just drop it into the earth. And it destroys so much shit. It's cool. It's cool as shit.
All right.
That's like, a little overboard, because you're probably gonna really hurt the earth. Yeah, but
oh my gosh.
I know G.I. Joe is all about the mega camp. It was, I wouldn't be surprised if G.I. Joe was heavily influential on anime, because it's kind of anime before anime, at least here in the States. I think the cartoon was at the dawn of some of your early anime in early 80s, but so there may have been some kind of synergy between all of that going on. And of course, I think Power Rangers started in the late 80s, or like right on the change of the decade there. So there's obviously some influence there too. And I mean, in Transformers too. I mean, the whole mech thing, and it's all very anime. I don't know why anime didn't catch on like it has today. But 30 years ago, I don't know what the holdup was with anime, because we didn't grow up in the world of anime like kids are today.
Right. I guess we still grew up with
We grew
Pokemon.
up with Toonami. That's true. Pokemon, it's a little bit different because the game comes first there.
And Dragon Ball Z.
And Dragon Ball. The things that were on Toonami we had this ooh, what is this thing going on with One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Sailor Moon, Inuyasha, things like Bleach.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. And that was like it forever, though. Until late high school for us.
Yeah. Yep. I think late high school is when I started
noticing,
watching different anime, I guess. And noticing that this was a thing, that there's more of this, there's more of Dragon Ball, there's more of, Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess a thing we discussed in, previous movies was when you have a giant monster, which in this case, it's the Transformers. They're the giant monsters here. We typically want to see less human stuff and more Transformer stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
And
that's why you like the first one, right?
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it for sure, but I feel like we get a lot more Transformers, and the human bits we do get are good. They're decent. They're okay. So it makes up for any non-monster scenes we got. Not like in Godzilla where we got too much Millie Bobby Brown or...
I know, they were milking her for all she was worth. That was like, had the potential to be the coolest of the bunch. The recent the high production Godzilla films.
Especially, Kong versus Godzilla. I was so excited for that movie. I was way too excited for that movie. And we got too much humans again. So it was slightly annoying. But for this movie, I wasn't too mad that we got too much human here. It was fine. It was okay. But we needed more Transformers. Way more. I mean, you introduce these Maximals, and you have some freaking gorillas, you have some cheetahs, you have some rhinos, and we don't get to see any of them. I mean, okay, we saw the gorilla. A little bit.
Yeah, the last 30 minutes, or so, that's really the only time we get to see them.
Mm-hmm. But that's it. And they look pretty cool. I mean, why not have more? Why don't they have more? Is this a pricing issue? They don't have the money to give me more big animals here? Can you just not have Millie Bobby Brown and use that money that you were going to pay her to give me more Kong? I don't know.
They could. They definitely could. Yeah, I don't really know. Because like the Millie Bobby Brown thing, they're kind of contemporary in that way, aren't they? But these two movies are kind of contemporary in a way that we have this star, in quotes, that's kind of driving the film forward, and Millie Bobby Brown kind of makes sense because she was hot off of Stranger Things, and they think she's gonna be the next sex icon or something. It's fucking weird and everything, especially because she was like under 18 at the time. It was weird. You know what I'm talking about? It was weird.
I mean, they didn't. I don't know. It was just, I don't know, because I don't go watch a movie for the actors.
Yeah, no, I don't for the most part, except Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. But it's just weird because this guy is, he's not a Millie Bobby Brown. Not that Millie Bobby Brown's a mega star or anything. She's just hot off of Stranger Things, which was, pretty big. I mean, it's arguably Netflix's biggest show. I mean, top 3 probably. And we got this guy who's just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't know You can like this movie, but I think you'd have a hard time defending that his performance was worth anything.
I even asked you. I was like, is this dude's first movie?
That's why you asked that?
Yes.
It's rough. He is. I haven't seen the whole movie, but In the Heights, is that what that film's called? That musical? That New York musical?
Yeah, I think so.
He's better in that. And I mean, that may have something to say about him working with actual people instead of a bunch of just like sit-ins to like help kind of direct his eyesight and stuff. So, you know, that is no doubt a struggle for many actors today, having to work around the green screen fucking nonsense. And so he is better in The Heights. I didn't see the whole film, but I saw maybe 20 minutes, and that's all I need to tell you, that he's definitely much better. And then his interaction, I say that though, but his interaction with his brother, I mean, I guess just the chemistry was not there, because man, that sucked ass too. I couldn't believe how bad his performance was in this.
Yeah, the interactions with his brother and I guess the humans, really, his mom, whatever. It was just kind of, it was just okay. You know, even with the girl, Elena, is that her name? I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, she sucked too.
Yeah.
She was a little better, but she did suck too.
So, you know, those interactions with them, it was just kind of, okay, all right. But the interactions with the CG, with the, you know, our Transformers, our dudes, it was bad. It was so bad I could notice, man. And I don't notice CG. I don't notice those bad, maybe not yet, or maybe my eye, you know, my third eye is opening, but god damn, it was so bad.
It does help to see a bad performance like this, and then it'll help you kind of start to build a spectrum.
Like when he was like being picked up by them
when they first met.
Yes,
that was the first time I was like, oh no, like this is like this is unbelievably bad. I cannot believe they didn't reshoot this.
I think that's when I asked if this was his first movie, when he was getting picked up and he was just like so stiff. Like, you wouldn't naturally react when you're getting picked up by a giant thing, I guess. You know, I don't know what that feels like, but,
yeah,
you know, use your fucking imagination. I'm sure you can imagine what that feels like.
Yeah.
And he was just really stiff and, like, super awkward. And I'm like, damn, that was bad. So, I mean, that sucks. You know, Elena, too, she was just okay. You know, I don't think she was much better, but she also didn't interact as much with, you know, she didn't have a little brother to interact with, and she didn't interact with the Transformers. I guess her main interaction was when she got picked up by AirRaiser, but that was super quick, and then they flew away, so you can't notice that.
Yeah, her whole she just had to deliver like the lines to kind of help figure out where they're going.
Yeah,
she was kind of a pointless character. They were both. I hated the point of their character, because he was like this washed up. Not really washed up, but, you know, he has this, like, checkered history of abandoning the military and to go take care of his family and stuff, which is just, that's weird. That's just a weird launching point. And then he just has, like, this weird, like, redemption mindset. He needs to, like, no one else is gonna do it. I gotta do it.
Yes.
Like, I don't know about this. This is...
Yes.
And I get that's, like, camp, because it's, you know, the melodrama and stuff and everything, but it just, I don't know if his performance just doesn't embrace that, but it's just not working with him. I think his best bit was at the very end too, with the G.I. Joe guy, that because the whole mood had changed, you know, they were sitting, I don't know, like the camera work was more interesting all of a sudden, because it was maybe just a little more static, but I don't know. Maybe because he was actually talking to a fucking human being instead of a child and robots. And the Lena girl, whatever her name was. Is that her Lena?
Elena,
okay.
Yeah, with an E.
Yeah, and she... Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Then that's gonna kill film for me. I mean, that pretty much alone can do it in for me. It really can.
I mean, I don't know. I thought the Transformers themselves were so cool that...
Who was your favorite Transformer?
It's hard to pick a favorite Transformer because, like I said, there were so many cool ones. You didn't show me enough of them. You know, you showed me Mirage the most, probably, and then B and Primus here. What's his name? Optimus Prime. was confused on some of these names, man.
Primus was my favorite too.
Primus, Optimus Prime, Optimal, like Maximus, it was a bit too much for me. And we didn't have subtitles, I think, so that hindered my naming here. But I really liked Optimal. Is that his name? What's his name?
Optimus Prime? Optimus Primal?
Optimus Primal. There you go.
Optimus
Optimal.
Primus.
Yeah, I liked him. I think I liked him the most, especially because I was that's why I was excited to watch this movie. So I liked Mirage until I found out that Pete Davidson was the voice actor, and then I had mixed feelings on if I liked him or not, which, you know, you can't do that. You can't. He did a decent enough job that I didn't know it was Pete Davidson until afterward, and then I was like, what? And then I, you know, saw the rest of the cast, and I was like, what is going on here? Why did they pick these people? But I mean, they did a good enough job that I didn't notice.
It's because they're cheap. It's the only way this movie was gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. It's like when you like a song and then you find out who the artist is, and then you don't know if you like it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that. It's like, I liked you, but then now I don't know. And maybe that's silly of me to feel like that, but
no, it's the age-old argument of separating art from the artist kind of thing. It's hard to do for, you know, some people. It's I mean, it's an artists. It's kind of the important convergence point between the two, in that you have to. It kind of challenges you on multiple levels, you know. And as an artist, I feel like that's kind of an important point to bring to the table, you know. And they should challenge you in every way they can.
Well, it's challenging me for sure.
Yeah, and you know, actors and people who create products, it's kind of a hard relationship to have, because they're not supposed to be provocative people, you know, not necessarily, you know. So there's so I get that. I'm not a fan of Pete Davidson either. He's okay. I don't dislike him or anything. I don't know if there's. I liked him in Bodies, but he's there only for a few minutes.
That's true.
And he was okay in his movie, like Long Island King or something like that. Staten Island King. Yeah. That was okay.
Is it a movie he's in or a movie he made?
I think it's like a soft biopic.
Oh. Okay.
Of his life. It is okay. It was okay. I thought, as far as like voice acting go, I thought he did pretty decent.
Yeah.
He did better than a lot of normal actors do for voice acting and stuff. I feel like he brought out. You didn't really hear Pete Davidson, you know?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
And I feel like the character fit. The character was consistent and stuff. He did pretty decent.
Yeah, and then they kind of went with a whole, you know, Sam and Bee relationship here with Noah and Mirage. And I'm sorry, but I think that Sam and Bee had better chemistry than these two. But you also can't compare this guy's acting with
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, he's cool.
Yes.
He's kind of like a discount Joaquin Phoenix or something. You know, he does weird stuff, and he's like really immersed in his character and everything. And he's just a little crazy. You know, it's like he's a little too off the chain. You know, Joaquin Phoenix understands the craft to the, you know, nth plus 1 degree, and Shia LaBeouf is just, you know, he's naturally maybe a little better, or naturally just kind of understands it, but doesn't, you know, it's not as technically sound. Yeah. But yeah, I like Shia LaBeouf too. He's an interesting character.
Yeah, especially growing up with him, you know. Did you watch Even Steven when you were a kid?
No.
I did. That show was my shit. And then, you know, Holes, and then I guess kind of Transformers next. I don't know if he did much in between there.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
So I guess there was a little bit of bias there, but I don't know if they try to force a relationship here with these two, with Mirage and Noah. But I you know, you didn't completely fool me, but I was okay with it. Just okay. This movie was okay enough for me.
That's good. Yeah, their relationship was forced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it is what it is. You know, it's just that kind of movie. So it's what I signed up for, and but we could have gotten a little better. We could have had better chemistry at home. That would have helped elevate this. The actor himself, I don't know his name. His real name, but he could have done better. But I know he's not like Robert Downey Jr. and all these guys who are working with, just crazy CG and stuff and green boxes and whatever shapes that they have to pretend that it's a violin or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it comes off real cheap.
It really does.
Which is not a terrible thing if they're going to go into the deep campy route, but I feel like you really got to embrace that because, I mean, that's an art in itself, I guess, because it's kind of like a really good actor in a horror movie where they just embrace this stupid decision making, in a horror movie, and you're like, all right, I'm along because it feels like this is just my character's just an idiot, so we're here. This is their logic. This is fine. This is working, but we're missing something with this guy.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be, a tech guy. He's supposed to be an electronics guy, whatever.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that. We
got told that was him.
A couple times, right? They didn't let us forget.
But here you are with fucking awesome ass alien Transformers, and you're not even mildly interested in how they work or how they move.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he repaired one of them.
Yeah. Something.
And they were like, what the fuck? How did you do that?
Yes.
That would have been cool.
Yes. And then, you make him G.I. Joe at the end. It's like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
He seems actually valuable because, when the G.I. Joe thing happens, it might be kind of cool, but you're just like, why the fuck would they be interested in this guy?
Yes.
He was just there. He can operate that suit. I mean, that's cool, I guess, but I feel like you can teach a monkey to do that, so I don't know. I don't know if that's that impressive, Where's his brain at?
Yeah, and I feel like maybe the whole relationship with Elena was a little bit forced too, in the way of trying to make it a little bit of a romantic relationship. I feel like they were kind of going there, but they didn't.
It's a real half measure, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't fully commit to that, or I don't know, they realized they were doing it and didn't want. I don't fucking know. But don't do that. Stop doing that. Either you are going to make them, fall in love, and you do it like Sam and Megan Fox, Michaela, I think that was her name. You do that. He's a geek or whatever, but she's a hot girl but knows mechanics. Like, okay, cool, awesome. But what did you have here?
Yeah, and what was the connection?
Exactly.
Like with Megan Fox's character, I assume I haven't seen the movie in a while, but she probably worked on the car. If she's a mechanic, right?
Yeah, I think she did.
So, all right.
Or she helped them in that way, yeah.
In that kind of movie, that's all you need. You just need that connection. What was the connection here? He stole the car. What was the connection? He was breaking into that place to get the
key.
To get the key.
Yep.
And the eagle statue or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she just happened to be there, working late.
Yep.
I mean,
no common interest here, nothing. So just stop doing that. How'd you feel about Scourge, our villain here?
He was lame. And I saw he was played by Peter Dinklage.
I know.
Which is, that's whatever. He's probably the most expensive villain right there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be kind of cool in the beginning, especially when they're in the museum trying to get back the key, and then they had the whole fight, and then we kind of lose B here. That looked cool, but then that's kind of it. I think there was another cool fighting scene that wasn't the end, but I mean, this villain didn't even go fight most of the time, and whatever that backstory was with him and his true master that's like super huge, I don't know, eats worlds, whatever they're making him out to be.
Yeah.
There was something there, and they didn't elaborate on that, which... Are you waiting for the next movies to elaborate on that? I don't know. But you didn't keep me interested there.
Did he die?
Who?
Scourge?
Yes, I think that was, Optimus Prime here was going to sacrifice himself to kill him.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of screams to me that they didn't anticipate a sequel to this or a trilogy of films. Because if there was a trilogy, this character would have not died. If they anticipated a trilogy, this character would have not died in the first of the first of the series, and he would, he would probably, this would be the movie to make him look like a real threat, and for him to kill almost all the Autobots or something like that, and then, all hope is lost, and then in the middle movie we get the upper hand, and then we finish him at the end. Or maybe getting the upper hand is killing Scourge, and the last movie's killing the World Eater guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
That's the simple. That's the
Boom.
That's the normal way you do stuff like this.
My favorite scene was when they were on that road. I guess they were in Italy. Where were they? They went to Peru, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were in Peru. I don't know why I thought Italy. I guess I was picturing the scene in Twilight wherein Bella's gonna go save Edward and they're in Italy, but I don't know why I picture that. I guess the streets looked very similar. But when they were in Peru and they're about to go rescue Noah and Elena, and they're on that road and they're all driving like really fast, and then the bad guys come and there's a really cool fighting scene there. I think that was my favorite part. It was pretty cool.
I don't remember it.
No? And okay. So that was when you have this whole scene with the van and they shoot the bad guy and the bad guy's about to explode, I guess. I don't know what's exploding here. I think it was a missile, actually. And it goes through one door of the van, and then the van quickly opens the other door. And
I'm there now. Okay. I remember now.
Yeah, that whole bit.
Yeah, that probably was the coolest fight. Yeah. That was cute. That was cute. That missile going through the van, the Volkswagen bus, yeah.
And then, Prime just stops and starts fighting this dude. I mean, it was cool. And that sucks that we didn't get more of that. I liked pretty much all the bits with the Transformers. So I guess that's why this movie kind of is a little bit higher than it would normally be on my list, because everything else was either just okay or it sucked and it could have been better.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you got something out of this. I know you were anticipating it.
Yes.
From the beginning of the year.
I
was looking forward to it on some level too, because we haven't gotten Transformers in a while, and they for a while there they seemed like they were coming out pretty regular. And I'm not sure when Bumblebee came out. I think that's the most recent, but I feel like it's been 4 or 5 years since Bumblebee, but I'm not 100% sure. And I thought they were going to take a new route, a little more domestic route with the Transformers, but I don't know how you keep that up other than one movie, basically. People like that one, Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee looks like it was in 2018.
Okay.
I haven't seen Bumblebee. I wanted to see it, but I don't know, just didn't. I might watch that. I might give that a watch.
I think John Cena's in it. I think John Cena's her dad.
No way.
The girl's dad. Yeah.
No way. Oh my gosh, yeah. Why? Well, also another cool bit here that's just it's just so it's pretty cool, but it's so fast that it's hard to enjoy, I guess. But it was when Airazor starts getting kind of transformed or kind of
corrupted.
Yeah, corrupted by the bad guy. He put a little chip on her. I don't know what the fuck that's called in, Transformer land. And she starts, turning into a bad guy, and then
Primus.
Optimus Primal has to, unalive her. That was sad. That was sad.
And that could have been more emotional if we would have had a little bit more of just him cleaning the fucking house. Scourge just cleaning house.
Yes.
That could have been a real emotional moment.
I'm okay with them not having these really sad parts that made me cry. Not every movie has to make me cry.
If you're gonna have 3 movies, yes, you do. If you're gonna have a trilogy of films, they gotta hit the shit out of you with some of this.
No, maybe I'm still kind of in my feelings about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I'm glad this did not make me cry. The sad parts were sad enough to make me feel like, oh, that's sad, but not bust out crying.
That's
which
funny.
You're kind of right. That's a very sad part. That's a very sad thing to have to do to your friend. But overall, this film's okay. Unless you are a Transformers fan, it's not worth the watch. Unless you like, cool shit by the Transformers and you're willing to ignore all the human bits, don't watch it.
Yeah, the other coolest parts to me are probably when Scourge is talking to the big World Eater guy. That's cool because plays with size a lot because he's big and the World Eater's like really big.
Yes.
It's cool. Now I like that they get in that big craft, that big aircraft. It's like a military grade aircraft, and he was a bigger Transformer too, and they could all get inside of him. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I think that's a very G.I. Joe Power Rangers thing too. I'm sure it's a very Transformers thing too. Where you have like little guys getting into the big guys, getting into the bigger guys.
It's like Russian dolls.
Basically, yeah.
See, give us more of that. You got pretty creative here with some of these Transformers. Give us more. Even the van dude was cool. And then you have to fucking ruin it with Noah here pretending to speak, or I guess not pretending, he was actually speaking Spanish, but like, oh, you speak Spanish? Like, what? No, you racist? You assuming I speak Spanish? Like, okay, all right,
That was weird too, him saying that.
That was weird.
Like him saying that he was racist. Cause like, you have an accent, dude. Like, what?
That's weird.
That's just a weird thing to say. Not to mention he's a Transformer. Like, what the fuck? Petty human ethics or not, no way in his mind,
no. Oh man, I just wish they would have done it a little better because I was waiting for this movie.
I know it was 2 hours, but it probably should have been close to a 3-hour movie where we got a lot of development.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just flew by these things that they were trying to put at us.
Yeah.
But you would have had to hire better actors. Better main cast, I guess. Main, like the two humans, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much or how many. I'm not sure what the score was for the reviews.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it would have been a 3-hour movie with this cast, I think it would have been lower.
On Letterboxd, it's 2.8, which seems about right to me. That seems about right. Very generic, non-offensive movie. It doesn't do anything right, but it doesn't do anything. It's not a hideous movie to watch, It's just Even his performance, that's like you get bad performances in so many places, so it's not really not that crazy, but
yeah, it didn't bore me. Like I said, I was engaged. I was oohing and awing where I needed to be.
Yeah, I guess I was bored, but I'm definitely not. I could not be more on the antithesis of the targeted demographic for this kind of movie. This movie is Transformers is probably the epitome of what I don't like about movies.
Oh.
So minus the kaiju type stuff. I like Godzilla, but I like the original Godzilla stuff because of what inspired it and everything. But I like the remakes, the reboots or whatever you want to call them, the American interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun because they're pretty crazy, but yeah, they focus on humans too much, which just hurts the films. And if you're gonna do that, you got to go through the Shin Godzilla route. You got to make it hyper political and not really focus on Godzilla at all. And then that's a different movie. So I know it's hard. I know, how do you write a good Transformers movie? I have no fucking idea.
You get a badass bad guy.
Yeah, it's a good start. You have Optimus Prime, you have B,
yes,
you have the Autobots,
yeah.
You've kind of got figured out. But the bad guy, I know Megatron is the bad, he's the most famous, I would think, from my perspective. I think Megatron's probably the most famous bad guy in Transformers world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was the main bad guy in the first few films. And he was just so shit. He was terrible. He just had all these henchmen who would do all of his work, and then when the time came, Optimus Prime beat the shit out of him,
Yep.
It's not I don't know. You got to be smart about how you handle fights, and I know you can't really have diplomatic, thoughtful fights when it comes to things like Transformers. But you need to go down the Marvel route and you need to make the fights as epic as possible.
Yes.
And I know they try, but they don't have as good as animators, and they don't have as much money to spend on whatever, and so I don't know. They do. I'm looking at the budget right now. They have money to spend. So I don't know. I was whelmed.
You were whelmed.
Yeah, I was right where I thought I'd be.
Right in the whelmed. Yeah, I'd probably give this movie a 2.
Out of 5.
Out of 5, yes.
I gave it a 0.5 on my
0.5?
Letterboxd.
Oh my god.
Those are pretty rare. I don't give those out very much.
I know. Well, I am so sorry you did not enjoy this film, but I enjoyed it.
Good. All right, well, I have a question for you. How much do you think this movie cost to make?
All right, this one was tricky because we have the Transformers. You have all this, CG.
Yeah, it's Marvel-esque in that way.
Yes.
It's a 2-hour movie.
2-hour movie. Big-ish franchise. It's not big, but it kind of was big at one point, so people were kind of excited for it. But
yeah, it's made
still in the
several
ish.
$billion over its lifetime.
All right, so we're dealing with other galaxies over there. So I went 210 million.
It's a good guess.
I think I went 220, but thought that was maybe a little too much. And 250 was way overboard, so I settled on 210.
It's a good guess. Are you locking that in?
Yes.
It says here that it was 195 to 200.
What?
So you're right in the pocket.
Right in the pocket.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's when you get a hyper CG movie, it's like every hour 100 million. 2 hour 200 million, almost 3 hour, almost 300 million. It starts to taper off at the end there, of course, but it because we have reused assets and yada yada and whatnot. But yeah, no, you're hitting the money in that. Yeah, we need to watch some lower produced music. I almost said movies to kind of really test you, because I think you've pretty much figured out the conspiracy up top, how they just it's like a ceiling to the length the movie can be. It's not like a video game where the video games just inflate in price, and because of all the texture and all the characters and all the environments and all of how big the world is and the writing and the voice acting and stuff, video games can endlessly fucking blow up in price. But yeah, you're right there. Good job. Good guess.
Thank you.
I mean, I think you're out of guessing territory. I feel like you're pretty much just gonna hit them.
Well,
the next movie, I think, or the next movie, I should say, you're probably gonna guess that one too.
Yeah, Guardians, Barbie, this movie, they're all pretty big, so they're a little bit easier to guess. Now that kinda.
Yeah.
But, man, those lower budget ones, or some of those older ones, it's gonna be hard.
Well, yeah, I can't blame you for not getting the older ones, because that's just totally different time. No, the only exception might be things like Avatar. Because if I had to guess, Avatar 2 was probably a $350 million movie.
Holy crap.
Maybe a little more. That's what I would guess.
Yeah,
but
275.
I'll look it up. Let's go ahead and cheat on that one. It says here, Avatar cost $250 million, so it still checks out.
250?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said 275. Boom.
Still checks out. Endgame apparently cost $350 million.
Whoa. So, that makes sense. Everything's made up and everyone is in costumes.
This movie ended up making around $429 million, which might be decent for this film, actually. It might have made a little bit of money, so we may actually see if things just don't get canceled because of the strikes and shit that are going down.
Yep.
That they probably saw some money out of that. Yeah, I wonder. I've heard that a lot of actors are already on the march to finding independent films to work with, like big time actors. They're already starting to leave Hollywood, which is how you really put the nails in the coffin. Because if they are all working, all of a sudden you can't finish out any projects, and so we might see a move of like the Hollywood thing going on. Might
cool.
Move out east or something, and we get a new New York Hollywood or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it might force Warner Brothers and Disney and everybody to kind of re-figure things out, whatever that means. So I guess especially with the streaming stuff, I guess that's part of the problem, because as far as like things like Netflix and other platforms go, like where some of these independent films sell their movies to be streamed, like the problems are still going to exist. They're all going to come up with their own streaming platforms too.
Yeah.
Or is Tubi going to take off? Tubi's could take off, I guess. I don't know. They'll start charging for Tubi, and we know that. I think there's a charged and non-charged Tubi.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Tubi.
no ads and ads kind of deal. But yeah, man, thanks for watching this piece of shit film with me.
I'm not saying thank you to that.
No, thanks for watching this. Thank you for, basically suggesting it too. I wouldn't have watched it without you.
Thank you for watching this movie.
Yeah, that's what you should be thanking me.
Yes,
I guess that's true.
You.
It's good. I do look forward to the next one though. I want to see the G.I. Joe connection. I think that's going to be really bizarre and interesting.
Yeah.
I like that because it's that kind of stuff speaks to me. That experimental kind of crossover stuff. Something I thought there was gonna be a crossover because I knew that there was like whatever that was, that reference, that this tie-in, a tie-in kind of Easter egg type thing. I thought it was gonna be Ninja Turtles for some reason.
Which that would have been awesome.
I don't know how that would have worked, but
please go there, please.
Let's just combine them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Director, I don't care who does it, just somebody do it. That'd be pretty awesome.
I think Ninja Turtles is owned by the Nickelodeon guys though, so that would make it difficult, I think.
Just get over yourselves and give us cool shit.
I know people will pay to see it. Everybody wins.
Pay.
Everybody wins.
For
Just
real.
play ball with each other. Yeah, well. All right, guys. Any final thoughts?
Nope. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Be ready for the next episode. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Gotta remind you guys. You guys seem to forget. When these episodes go live, go watch them. Go listen to them.
Exactly.
Go to our Patreon. Subscribe for $1. Or however much you want to give. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. And follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, or movie recommendations, or book recommendations we can still read over here, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching and keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines signing off.